Hello class. Here we are to discuss aquaculture management aspects. Upon this, a major important topic comes is aquatic insect and their control. Maybe this part is a very small part in total view of aquaculture management, yet it is very important because this is the foundation step of making our spawns to live. Okay, so we shall start now and see what are aquatic insects and how they can be controlled. So what are aquatic insects? These are derived from various terrestrial ancestors that have evolved in aquatic environments. Okay, these insects can be entirely aquatic, that is the entire life cycle is aquatic, or they can have both terrestrial and aquatic life. Okay, that is the phases of it will be staying in water and certain phases will be flying away from water. Okay, then again this is a very diverse group, as you know that I am talking about insects which are living in water, also which are living in land. So it's a very diverse group having 76,000 species which are adapted to all kind of freshwater environment and some of the saltwater environment. So next is the features of aquatic insects. So these insects are basically arthropods, okay, but their adult morphology consists of thoracic segments which are of 3 in number. Then you have jointed appendages of 3 pairs. Then you have 2 pairs of fins, and they also have a piercing, cutting, and sucking type of mouth to pierce through their prey and feed upon them. Okay. So next is why is it necessary to control their propagation. Okay. So as you know, these insects are omnipresent, that is they are found in everywhere in the water area. Okay, they can be present in their adult or larval forms. Okay, so in adult or larval forms they can directly prey upon your swan, or they may indirectly uh, be a competition to these carp swans, as like they will eat the same kind of food those carp swans will eat. Okay, so if these aquatic insects take up your carp swans feed, then what will your carp swan eat? Okay, if they don't get food they will eventually die. So it's very necessary to remove them. If not, you consider their direct involvement, but also because of the indirect ways. Okay, then you have the taxonomic hierarchy of these insects. So in class insecta there are 11 orders. Okay, all total among these 11 orders, 3 orders are very essential in aquatic insects part, because these 3 orders only contain the most of the aquatic insects. Okay, so we have the kingdom Animalia, as you know, then the phylum Arthropoda and the classes Insecta. And in this class Insecta you have 3 orders: Hemiptera, Coleoptera and Odonata are important for aquatic insects, that is most aquatic insects comes under these 3 orders. Okay, now we go and study in detail of these orders. The Hemiptera are the order of true water bugs. Okay, they are extremely dangerous to the culture of swan. Okay, they have aquatic larval stages, they have a strong piercing mandibles. Okay, and they are ferocious predators, and the common species belonging to these orders are Belostoma, Thyroceras, Nipah, Ranatra, Notonecta, Anisopes and Juris. Okay, these the common names are very important, so you need to learn these things. Okay, then you have the order Coleoptera. Coleoptera are the order of the aquatic beetles. So the larval forms is extensively aquatic. However, the adult form you will find them flying around. Okay, and because of this feature only, it becomes very difficult to like throw these insects away. Because once you are like putting in effort to remove these aquatic insects, and again you will find them in a few days, because some of the adults have flied away, right? So it's very difficult to remove them, yet we have measures that we'll be discussing later on. Anyway, the common insects which are here are Cybistus, Discus and Hydrophilus and Gyrinus. Okay, again you have to remember every common name. Next is Odonata. Odonata are larval stages are aquatic, adults are terrestrial, and they have a sucking type of mouth. Okay, and the insects which are here in Odonata are damselfly and the dragonfly. Next comes the how do we control these things. Okay, so in order to control these, we have to know about their teeth pattern. Okay, they have a piercing, cutting and sucking type of mandibles. Mandibles are insects teeth. Okay, and they produce havoc over the spawn and fry populations. So a complete eradication is essential for a better aquaculture or a better production of these spawns. That is, the survival rate of these spawns depend upon how nicely you have eradicated these things. Okay, so we may say that their presence in stocking ponds is immaterial, because stocking ponds, we know that the yearlings and fingerlings are stocked. They are much bigger in size. Okay, these insects can't harm them, but for the spawning areas like a spawning tank or like nursery tank, is very essential to remove these insects, or else your spawn will see a disaster. Anyway, so what are the measures that can be taken to make these predators go away? So there can be two type of ways. Okay, one is the physical and other is the chemical. Okay, in physical ways you have to get a very fine meshed bag net, and you have to just drag through the bag net over the water, and that's how you remove these things. Okay, but also you can imagine that this physical way is not much of use, because you know that in physical ways you will certainly leave out something, and these insects have a very good reproductive rate, so they will again bring back those tiny insects in the water, and you will face the same disaster as you were to facing. Okay, so you have to follow the chemical ways. In chemical ways, the knowledge of respiratory system is very crucial, because ultimately we make a oil and soap emulsion that chokes the trachea. Okay, in chemical ways, what we have, C-Free had a standard. Okay, that is 56 is to 18 kg of mustard oil or coconut oil with when mixed with cheap detergent or washing soap, they make a emulsifier, and they can instantly choke the respiratory system and causing the death of these organisms. Again, in place of the cheap washing soap, you can use Tipol B300 and mix with 56 kg of mustard oil, and this will also make the same kind of effect. Then again, you have Alexandrian laurel oil and some water dispersible Gamaxin. Okay, they can also eradicate the insects like the other two, but the concentration must be around 0.6 to 1 ppm. Okay, and it takes around an hour to kill these insects by the use of pure gamoxoisomer of benzene hexachloride that has to be soluble on ethanol. Around 0.01 ppm will do. Okay, and cheap method which you can use is obviously the diesel oil, that you can use 50 liter per hectare along with 1/3 to 1/4 parts of the washing soap, and you can use kerosene as well. Okay, then what you should remember using these chemicals, this carp spawn has a very limited tolerance towards this. Okay, that is 0.05 ppm. Till 0.05 ppm the carp spawn will be okay, or else they will all smash away with these aquatic insects. Anyway, you have to pick a selective type of insecticides to kill these organisms, or else they will harm the fish food organisms, which are very beneficial and you want it in your culture system. Then you can use what, 56 is to 18 ratio of oil and detergent, that is very effective in killing, and it kills Rhodophyta in 30 minutes, and the higher dose will remove the water boatman, beetle larva and the bugs. Okay, so that's how we end our chapter on the aquatic insects and their control, and the important things which we have to bear in mind while doing all this. Okay, thank you class. So we'll